So let's look at distributed upgrade. This is a feature that builds on top of the proactive fix-ups that can make your upgrades of container databases even faster. So let's dive right into it. We already saw this picture previously when we talked about proactive fix-ups. We know that all the PDBs are being processed in batches on the computer where the upgrade is started, where auto upgrade is running. But what if we could do this on RAC systems? What if we could use all the nodes in the RAC cluster? That could potentially make the upgrade run even faster. And this is when we introduced distributed upgrade. This is a performance enhancement that applies to RAC systems running container databases. The more PDBs you have in your container database, potentially the bigger gain there is from using not only proactive fix-ups, but also distributed upgrades. What happens? Well, first of all, we upgrade CDB $root. We do that in the traditional way with cluster database set to false, and we do it on the node where auto upgrade is started. After that, we restart the container database and set cluster database to true. Then we can use all the nodes in the RAC cluster to process all the PDBs in batches assigned to each individual node in the cluster. This is how we used to upgrade RAC databases. When you start auto upgrade on one of the nodes in the cluster, auto upgrade would set cluster database to false. First, CDB $root gets upgraded, and then in batches, all the PDBs are being upgraded as well. But look at node 2. It is doing absolutely nothing. And you could have many nodes in your RAC system. None of the other nodes would be doing anything, just sitting there idle. So this is what you can do now with distributed upgrade. First, we still upgrade CDB $root, and we do that with cluster database set to false. Then auto upgrade will restart the container database and set cluster database to true, spawn itself on all the nodes in your cluster to process all the PDBs in batches in parallel using all the nodes in the RAC cluster. When you use the auto upgrade console to monitor the progress of your upgrade, with distributed upgrades, there's now an additional column called node, where you can see on which node in the RAC cluster that this specific PDB or this specific operation is actually running. If you want to use distributed upgrade on your RAC system, it is super easy. There's just one line you need to add to your auto upgrade configuration file. Tune setting, proactive fix-ups equals true, comma, distributed upgrade equals true. You must use proactive fix-ups when you want to use distributed upgrade, because distributed upgrade builds on top of proactive fix-ups. In a later release of auto upgrade, we will make the syntax slightly easier, so you don't have to actually specify proactive fix-ups. It'll come kind of out of the box when you specify distributed upgrade. But for now, in the current version, you need to specify both. And then you simply just start auto upgrade in deploy mode like you're used to. This is the only thing you need to do in order to enable distributed upgrade. Under the hood, auto upgrade will take care of the rest. First, it'll build a second configuration file based on the configuration file that you provided, which has all the information needed in order to split the workload out on multiple nodes in the RAC system. All the upgrades are split into batches, and each batch is assigned to one node in the cluster. We have database batch 1 and database batch 2. So in this example, it's a 2-node cluster. The SID is adjusted to the SID, the actual SID on the RAC node where that specific batch will run. And when you look at the PDBs, we take the entire sum of all the PDBs, split it into batches, and assign a batch of PDBs to each of the nodes in the RAC cluster. Then auto upgrade will spawn itself on all the nodes in the system. It'll use the special configuration file that auto upgrade created under the hood and start auto upgrade in a special way that you should never start auto upgrade like this. This is simply to illustrate what happens underneath the hood. We're using auto upgrade in a special mode that allows the use of distributed upgrade.